Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to this reading. My name is Kelsey, and today we are looking at what you are attracting, what you are manifesting, as well as how you are attracting these things, and maybe some kind of guidance or advice from Spirit in regards to how to tune in to your abilities to manifest and attract in a way that works for you. So go ahead, grab yourself a notebook if you feel called to do so, a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, pull up a chair, and sit for a spell. Okay, my loves, out in front of you we have three different cards, three different crystals to choose from, and I'm going to ask you to take a couple deep breaths, really ground yourself, connect to your intuition, connect to your guides, and really connect to your present moment at the time that you're watching this. And ask which one of these three cards is holding the messages and the information that you need to hear in regards to what you are attracting and what you are manifesting. And here we have card number 1 with this alchemical quartz. And we have card number 2 with this selenite moon. Card number 3 with this raw fluorite. And I will have the timestamps to the beginning of each reading in the description box below, along with the cards that I'm using and the information and links to my website and all of that good information will all be in the description box below for anybody who wants to check that out. So without further ado, go ahead and pause the video if you still need a moment, and I'm going to go ahead and move on to group number 1. Hello, my beautiful group number 1. Those of you that chose card number 1 with the alchemical quartz, this reading is for you. And we are looking at what you are attracting, what you are manifesting, and how. So group number 1, starting off, an energy that I'm really picking up on here is kind of like this sense of like core primal instinct, this sense of very almost like raw energy coming through here. So group number 1, some of you guys may really manifest or attract things very subconsciously in ways that maybe you've never even really dove into exploring how you manifest certain things or how you attract certain energies, because it just kind of happens, or it may feel like it just kind of happens, especially if you do set an intention to bring something into your life. You guys may be very, very good at attracting at least certain things into your life very quickly or very powerfully. I do feel for group number 1 that a lot of you guys may be working with kind of trying to enhance or even maybe recognize your power or even call back your power in some instances. Different messages for different people, but I do feel a strong sense of like just primal raw energy coming in here, which is interesting. Let's go ahead and get into your reading. We're going to start off here with this card and take a look at kind of what you're attracting or what you're manifesting, what you're calling towards you. And then we'll shuffle the rest of the cards out as we go. So group number 1, starting off here, we have summoning power, instinct, intellect, and control. Yeah, so wow. Group number 1, you guys are really attracting very powerful energies and very powerful opportunities. For some of you guys, this could be coming through as like calling back your power from certain traumas, experiences, relationships that you've had, especially anybody here who's dealt with any sort of kind of like narcissism, or maybe you were stuck in kind of a narcissistic or toxic or abusive relationship at one point. And I do feel anybody here who resonates with that, it's like you're currently calling back your power from that. As well as I do feel for a lot of the souls that chose this pile, there is a sense of like power moves, like creating opportunities, manifesting these opportunities that are going to allow you to make certain power moves, or even attracting like certain power couple energy coming in here for some. With these two wolves here, there's this sense of like a power couple, whether this is romantic or business or however that comes through for you. It could even be like friends. It's just the sense of this power couple that really does some very powerful things. It could be somebody that you are working with, that you are living with. It could come through in any way. It's just somebody that you're essentially collaborating with, group number one. It's going to bring a lot of power to the things that you are doing. As well as I feel for group number one with this kind of control energy here, a lot of you guys with that primal energy, that kind of raw energy, I feel like you guys are learning or kind of being guided to learn how to harness this energy, how to control and kind of manipulate this energy in a way that works for you instead of it being something that just kind of happens to you. For those of you that maybe resonate with things just happening and maybe you don't fully understand how they happened or the energy that attracted those things into you, there is kind of that message of learning how to harness your power here, learning how to control your power, learning, some of you guys, this is about willpower, like summoning willpower, and really coming into this sense of self-control as well. Interesting. Let's go ahead and pull another card here for group number one in regards to what you're attracting, what you're manifesting for group number one. We have shadow work. Wow. Yeah, so there's definitely something here, group number one, where it's like the source of your power is kind of like in the shadows. It's like in this part of you that you don't recognize or that you don't look at. For some of you guys, definitely, or well, I feel collectively for group number one in different ways for different people, but I do feel collectively group number one, you were calling back your power from past experiences and traumas and connections, especially in romantic connections, but this could be even relationships with your parents, with your siblings, with past friends, past co-workers, anybody or anything in your life that was toxic or abusive or made you feel less worthy. There's this sense of calling back all of your power in order to be able to harness it. And that does kind of require a sense of shadow work, like looking at the parts of your life where you gave your power away, where you lost control, where you submitted to control or manipulation for some of you guys. And there's this sense of like reharnessing that, calling your power back up out of the darkness, out of the shadow, learning how to work with your shadow, learning how to kind of control your own energies, learning how to control your own fear, learning how to work with your shadow and having your shadow as an ally. So even for group number one, some of you guys, this could be about really manifesting this sense of personal power where you are not only in total alignment and control of yourself, but it's almost like your shadow self and your higher self are coming together as kind of this power couple and working together. Because when we do the shadow work, when we ascend, when we awaken, when we enlighten ourselves, when we look at the experiences and the things that we have to work through, and we all have to work through these things in different ways and do this work in different ways. But your shadow can essentially become one of your greatest allies. And I feel like that's kind of something that's happening for group number one, which is absolutely beautiful. And so Spirit is really wanting to recognize like the amount of work that you've done, and you should be proud of yourself for that, group number one. You should really acknowledge that. Let's go ahead and pull some tarot and see what else we have coming out for you in regards to what you're attracting, how you're manifesting, what you're manifesting for group number one, please. We have the Nine of Challenges. Yeah, there's that fear energy coming out here. We also have sunlight coming out. Yeah. So group number one, there is this strong sense of you guys attracting light into the darkness, like shining light on your shadow, shining light on your fear, a sense of like facing yourself. A lot of my group number ones are coming out of a state of survival that maybe you've lived in for a very long time. Maybe you struggle with anxiety and nervousness and even social anxiety, or like a fear of putting yourself out there, or you maybe have this mentality, like worst case scenario mentality. And for those of you that resonate with that, I feel like you are manifesting the strength and the courage and the power and the information that you need in order to come up out of that fear, to heal from that fear, to learn how to work with that fear as a source of motivation, as a source of information, versus something that keeps you stagnant or paralyzed within your own reality. So a lot of positivity coming in for you guys as you kind of call back your power, as you're revitalized, as you shine light into the darker parts of your life and the darker parts of yourself. As well as with the sunlight, it's like you guys are manifesting some sort of victory, some sort of success. For some of you guys, this could be success business oriented, where you have like that power business partner, like that power couple coming in here again. And for some of you guys, this could be like this, it could be romantic, and that may be for one or two of you, but it doesn't really feel like that's a message for a lot of people here. We also have the Two of Visions. Look at that, the power couple, the commitment, the contract. Some of you guys are entering into a new relationship, a new commitment, a new contract that is going to enhance your power, regardless of what kind of connection, relationship this is, what kind of contract this is. It's something that's very powerful in regards to your soul growth, as well as in regards to your success and your goals in this lifetime. Even if you haven't fully kind of, like really fleshed out your goals 100% yet in life, even if you don't really know what it is that you want in your life, you are currently at the state where you are attracting power to you, and this is going to come to you in multiple different ways. It's going to come to you through your own energies, through your shadow, through your higher self, through your spirit guides. It's also going to come back to you from past connections, relationships, experiences. It's going to come to you through other people and through victories and success and recognition and things like this. Like a lot of power. It's almost like you guys are and this is what you guys are attracting. You're attracting and manifesting the sense of recognition and power and status almost coming through here. Wow. So the advice that Spirit has for you in regards to learning how to continue manifesting, or learning how to tap into that energy for yourself when you're really wanting to like manifest things that you really are setting intentions for, instead of things just kind of happening with feeling like you don't have any control over it, is that shadow, working with your shadow, allowing your shadow to be present, and allowing yourself to listen to what your shadow is saying in order to get kind of a fuller perspective. So listening to your fear. What is your fear telling you? Where is it telling you to go? How is it telling you to act? And not so much looking at your fear as though it's automatically implying danger, but looking at your fear as though it's pointing out where new experiences are, where the unknown is, where things maybe denser even. For some of you guys, your shadow may be pointing out to you certain people. And this may be happening by people triggering you. It may be happening by... There's something here where it's like your shadow is really wanting to communicate to you that it's recognizing certain energies, whether these energies be within people or within your environment. that your shadow is wanting to communicate to you, that it's like if you look at this from a different perspective or from a different angle, you're going to recognize certain energies for what they actually are. For some of you guys, this is about recognizing certain toxic habits or traits or cycles that you've been in, whether they were self-imposed or by, being with another person or in a certain environment or at a certain job, or however that comes through for you. There's just something here where it's like your shadow's really trying to point out and communicate to you these denser energies that you need to understand, and that's really going to help you in your manifestation processes. But I really see here for you guys that you are attracting a lot of blessings, a lot of positivity, a lot of light. Some of you guys may resonate with recognizing your own potential as kind of a light worker, or resonate with being a light worker in some way, shape, or form. And this may be something that maybe you're just now recognizing is a part of your purpose, or a part of like a soul mission or something here. It does feel kind of like a soul mission that you are attracting to you through another person that you're going to be connecting with, whether it be romantically or for work, or a soul family member in some way, shape, or form. There's just something here where it's like a soul contract, a soul family member, a soulmate, somebody who's very strongly energetically connected to you on a soul level is coming in to help you progress at this time. And that's something that you are attracting with all of the healing work that you've been doing, group number 1. So let's go ahead and pull you one final message. Any last guidance, advice, or actions you should be taking, group number 1, in regards to what you're attracting, what you're manifesting. We have prosperity. I love it. A prosperous business with riches and success. Yeah. So a lot of you guys are going to be collaborating with somebody, or coming into a period where somebody is going to help you grow, or wanting to invest in your business. And if this is something that resonates with you, group number 1, there is a need to kind of face some fears, take some risks in this area of your life as well, whether it be romantic or business or whatever. Wherever you're wanting more of something, there's a need to kind of face some fears and take some risks in that area, okay? But this is what I'm seeing for my beautiful group number 1. If you enjoyed this reading, if it resonated with you, if it brought you value, please hit that like button, as it truly does help to support the channel. Comment down below, let me know if you chose pile number 1. Let me know any other readings that you guys would like to see. Consider subscribing if you feel called to do so. I thank you all so very much for joining me here today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hello, my beautiful group number 2. Those of you that chose card number 2 with the selenite moon here, this reading is for you, and we are looking at what you are attracting, what you are manifesting, how you are doing this potentially, as well as any guidance or advice that Spirit has in regards to how you manifest and things like this. So group number 2, starting off here, there is a huge sense of cleansing. So for some of you guys, this may be like an area of focus for you. There's something here about really clearing your energy, whether this is like your energetic kind of imprint that is being cleared, or maybe you're going through a purging process. And for some of you guys, this could be more physical, environmental, where certain things are being shed away in your environment, or you're like cleansing your home, or maybe even kind of outgrowing certain people or energies within your day-to-day life as well. That is something that's coming through here. But let's go ahead and get into your cards. We're going to start here with what you're attracting, what you're manifesting, and then we'll shuffle the rest of the cards out as we go. So group number 2, we have loss and lack, fear and victimization. Interesting, because... Okay, so group number 2, a lot of you guys may be kind of manifesting this cleansing, this purging, this clearing, because the universe is trying to make room for something much bigger for you. And for some of you guys, you may really be like resisting this, even though it's something that maybe you wanted, or not so much that you wanted to lose certain things or, you know, that, but like, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit here. So group number 2. I feel like you guys are wanting to create, to manifest, to attract something into your life, whether this be a better job, a better partner, a better lifestyle, however it comes through for you. It's going to be different for everybody, as this is a general reading. But what is required to be cleared away in order to make room for this other manifestation that you want is something that you are having a hard time letting go of. And this may cause like this fear or this fear of lack, and this may come through for you where it's like especially if this is like more noticeable within your physical reality, like say you buy a candle and you don't burn it because you want to save it because maybe you'll need it at a very specific time, or there's just something here about like not using the things that you bring into your life out of this fear of them being gone. That may be something that you're dealing with, as well as like this victim mentality may be something that you're struggling with as well, like really having a hard time with maybe understanding how energy works and how. So something that's coming to mind is like this idea of you are who you hang with. So if you find that you are changing, or that maybe even blaming certain parts of yourself, certain aspects of yourself, or certain behaviors that you have on other people, maybe the problem is that you need to change your environment, that you need to change where you're spending your time and your energy and your resources in order for you to be able to come out of this idea that you know. And I'm not saying you're doing this intentionally, like I'm blaming this other person for who I am or for the mistakes that I've made or whatever, but I just mean a lot of the times we put ourselves in situations and environments out of the sense of obligation or responsibility because they're family or because we've known them so long, and we have a hard time letting go of that, even though maybe subconsciously we are already aware that this place or these people aren't necessarily in our best interest or don't necessarily want to see us win or outgrow them, because it maybe instills fear in them. So there is this sense of like not only you holding on, kind of almost like white knuckling, holding on to certain things out of this fear of lack or out of this idea that you are obligated or responsible for that connection, but it's almost like other people or maybe energies may be doing this to you as well. Group number 2. And you may be experiencing a lot of very heavy energy, feeling like you're being held down, feeling like you're being held back. And that's because you guys are really being asked to allow clearing, allow purging at this time, because the universe is trying to make room for something much bigger. And in order for you to be able to manifest this bigger thing, you have to be able to let go of what you've outgrown. Let's pull another card. Group number 2. Wow, we have energy shift coming out here. Yeah, you guys are definitely going through a shift in your reality, a shift in your energy, a shift in, I feel like in most areas of your life, you're seeing changes or things that are trying to change that maybe you're resistant to. So if you're finding group number 1 that you're resistant to changing, even like the hours that you're working or the shift that you're working, resistant to changing the place that you go to eat every week, or resistant to changing, you know, that same coffee that you order start small with things like that. Start small and begin allowing change into your life, and I feel like that's going to create like a snowball effect or a ripple effect for you, group number 2, that's going to allow this clearing and this purging that I feel like you're energetically and subconsciously holding back, and that's what may be causing that hesitation or that resistance within your manifestations, or your manifestations may not be coming through as big or as powerful as you're really wanting or needing them to be. So yeah, group number 2, I feel a lot of you guys that chose this pile, you may be having a hard time with your current manifestations, or with even setting intentions for some of you guys. And a big part of this, whatever there, it feels like blockages, group number 2, and it's like spirit is saying you have to overcome these obstacles and these blockages before these manifestations can come in. They want to come in. This energy wants to shift. It wants to change. But you have to kind of let go of the things that you're really holding on to. Or even if this comes through as kind of a mindset for group number 2, where you live in this fear of lack, or this fear of not having enough, where you maybe buy too many groceries out of fear of running out of food, where you maybe, you know, buy certain things like candles or incense or whatever, but then you don't use them because you don't want to run out. Like it's that type of energy here that spirit is really wanting you to address in order for this purging to happen. That has to happen in order for delivery of a manifestation. Interesting. Let's pull some tarot. I do really feel like salt baths, or kind of like aura cleansing, energy cleansing, cord cutting, protections, cleansing your home energetically and physically, and things, anything that's focused around cleansing energetically, spiritually, emotionally, physically, are all going to be super, super beneficial for you right now in regards to your manifestation processes. And that may seem kind of like an oxymoron, if you will, where it's like I have to get rid of things and clean and cleanse and detach from things in order to create things. It may feel like that's ridiculous, or like it's counterintuitive, but I do feel like it will be super powerful for you, group number 2. Let's pull some tarot. We have the Child of Visions, the Forest Lord, and the Seeker of Visions. Okay. We also have the Enchanter on the bottom of the deck, which is the Magician, you know, the creator. But group number 2, what I'm really seeing here, starting off with the Child of Visions, is, and it's raining in this card, is that allowing yourself to definitely wash away any sort of heaviness, any sort of burdens, any sort of resentment or bitterness is going to be super helpful for you as well. If you're holding on to any resentment, if you're holding on to bitterness, if you're holding on to any kind of dense energies like that because of people or situations that made you feel like you weren't worthy, or like you were lesser than, or like you were lacking somewhere. Working through that is going to be super helpful for you, as well as I do feel that there is some sort of offering coming in here, like somebody may be offering forgiveness, or maybe asking for forgiveness, or offering forgiveness, depending on the situation here. And that seems very significant in regards to learning how to let go of certain things, how to clear kind of the heart space feels very significant here for group number 2, learning how to let go of like grudges. So overall, group number 2, there's a huge theme here of learning how to let go of things that you're holding on to that are no longer in alignment with where you're meant to go. We also have the Forest Lord here, which speaks of balance. And this kind of, how I'm kind of reading this right now, group number 2, is like the sense of really becoming aware of how with every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. And this is kind of like the laws of nature, as well as even like the laws of karma. And so group number 2, there's something here like, if you, okay, with the forest lord, for example, we'll go nature, we'll use a nature explanation. If you go fishing without a fishing license, I'm from the United States. If you're watching from somewhere else and this works differently in your part of the world, just bear with me here. But like, I'm from the United States, and if you go fishing without a fishing license and you take fish from the stream, but you haven't given anything back or given to to the fishing license to help support that river or that stream or that lake, or you haven't given back to the land in some way, shape, or form, there will be a reaction, like, and it may not come through how we perceive it to come through. Like, it may not come through a fine from the DNR or the police officers. It may not come through a fine for breaking the law, or breaking the rules, or however you want to perceive that, but it may come through where you're leaving the stream in your car and you break down and you have to repair your vehicle. It may come through, and there may be things like this happening within your life, group number 2, where it's like, why is it every time I turn around something is happening here? And it's like there's something that the universe is trying to tell you you need to let go of, or you need to stop returning to. So you may find that every time you try to go somewhere that makes you feel a certain way, or every time you enter into a certain energetic state, it's like the universe reacts to that, and it's almost coming through as like, your car breaks down, or you lose your job, or you get a ticket, or it feels very almost negative in a sense, where it like brings your spirits down. And there's a need to listen to these messages, group number 2, because the universe is trying to tell you where and what you need to let go of, where and what is leading you astray, where and what is taking you off course or out of alignment. Interesting. We also have the Seeker of Visions here, and this is talking about flow. Like, I feel like group number 2, you guys may be connected to the water element, but there's also something here where it's like there's a need to take the path of least resistance, and it's like, even when you're trying to embark in certain tasks or events, or connect to certain people, there's like this sense of resistance to certain people, to certain environments, to certain situations that maybe trigger you or make you feel angry or make you feel very low, like you dread it before it ever even happens, or like you have to prepare yourself mentally, emotionally, physically to be in the presence of these people, or to be in a certain environment. And the universe is saying, in order for you to manifest the things you truly want to manifest, you have to take the path of least resistance. Follow your joy, follow your happiness, follow the things that you love and that you want. Don't keep yourself in certain environments and situations and relationships because you're scared of somebody not being in your life, or you're scared of not having this to fall back on, or you're scared of burning bridges, or this kind of fear of lack. Okay? I hope all of that made sense. I know that probably was pretty long-winded there. It felt kind of long-winded. Let's pull you guys one final card. Any last guidance, advice, actions you should be taking in regards to what you're attracting and what you're manifesting. So this particular reading didn't so much like specifically tell me what you're bringing in versus what's blocking it. It feels like you guys are dealing with major blockages in regards to clearing, cleansing, and protecting, and that's where you're being asked to focus. Okay, there's two that want to come out here, so we'll take them both. Starting off, we have the dragonfly. You bring light to this world. So you guys may be dealing with certain kind of energetic vampires, or like certain places that really drain your energy, that make you feel depleted, and there's a need to protect yourself from that. We also have water. Look at that. Work with the element of water for healing, purification, and refinement. Yeah, so Spirit really wants you to work with the cleansing, with the water, with purging emotionally for some of you guys, and healing and protecting, cleansing, in order to shine your light as bright as you can. And it's almost like you guys are a light, you are a beacon, and maybe certain people or energies are very attracted to that, kind of like a moth to a flame type energy. And you guys are the flame, you guys are that purifying, healing energy, and people may really drain that from you. So there's a need to protect yourself from that. Interesting. But this is what I'm seeing for my beautiful group number 2. If you enjoyed this reading, if it resonated with you, if it brought you value, please hit that like button, as it truly does help to support the channel. Comment down below. Let me know if you chose pile number 2. Let me know what other readings you guys would like to see. Consider subscribing if you feel called to do so. I thank you guys so very much for joining me here today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hello, my beautiful group number 3. Those of you that chose card number 3 with the fluorite here, this reading is for you. And we are looking at what you are attracting, what you are manifesting, how you may be attracting and manifesting these things, as well as any advice that Spirit or the universe may have for you in regards to that. So group number 1, I do initially... the chakras are coming up here quite strongly for you guys. Group number 3, I don't know if I just said group number 1, but if I did, I'm sorry, I meant group number 3. The chakras are coming in here quite strongly, but mainly the sacral, solar plexus, and throat chakras. Interesting. So we're skipping over the heart chakra. And so what that tells me here, group number 3, is that you guys may have a hard time tuning into things that bring you joy or things that you desire. It may feel like you're doing something wrong to allow yourself to pursue pleasure. It may feel like a foreign concept to you. Interesting. Or even to speak about the things that you actually want may be something that's very difficult for you, group number 3. But let's go ahead and get into your reading here. We're going to start off with this card to take a look at the energy that you're attracting, that you're manifesting, and then we'll shuffle the rest of the cards out as we go. So group number 3, we have here hidden knowledge, Akashic records, and silent understanding. Interesting. Yeah, and with that silent understanding here, I really feel a strong sense of not speaking. There may be secrets being kept from you, or that you're keeping from somebody right now. Group number 3, just kind of an energy that's coming in here. But I really feel for you guys, group number 3, that you are going to be manifesting and attracting certain information that's going to allow you to unlock your creative potential, your financial potential, and your emotional potential. I feel for group number 3 that a lot of you guys may really struggle with self-esteem, with courage, with confidence, with boundaries. Kind of that solar plexus energy. You may really, really struggle with your self-identity, with claiming who you actually are versus presenting yourself as somebody that everybody else wants, or that you think everybody else wants. And I also feel for you guys that you may be kind of entering into a period of awakening or ascension. Interesting. So I do feel like group number 3, you guys are attracting some sort of information. This could be coming through as somebody sharing secrets with you, as somebody telling you something you're not supposed to know about, somebody coming through being like, hey, I'm going to tell you this, but don't tell anybody else, or like that kind of energy is coming through here very, very strongly, group number 3. I also feel for you guys that there is a sense of kind of spiritual information coming in, downloads. This could be you guys' crown chakra, as well as your third eye chakra, could be very, very open and active. You guys may be meant to speak in some way, shape, or form. And this may be part of why the throat chakra is coming out here, and like this need to be able to speak your truth, this need to be able to speak and to say like this I am, because you guys may have a hard time with this, and this may be blocking you from being able to fully embody or embrace who you're actually meant to be, especially those of you that chose this pile that are like spiritual teachers or spiritual, like in the spiritual realm where you either speak or give readings or work in the spiritual realm in some way, shape, or form. It almost feels like there's some sort of shame around being this, whether this shame is in front of one person or in front of a crowd, or whether you were taught or raised in a religious home or in a manner where you were shunned or told that what you believed in was wrong or bad, or made to believe that in some way, shape, or form. You may be having a very difficult time embodying who you actually are and who you're meant to be, but it almost feels like you guys are trying to manifest and attract a sense of purpose or mission here in this lifetime that you kind of already essentially agreed to in spirit form before you incarnated in this earth, before you were born. It's almost like spiritually you agreed to something, and now that you're in this physical form, you're having a hard time following through with that out of this sense of shame. Some of you guys may have a really hard time being seen. You may have like social anxiety, or you may have like this stage fright type energy that really kind of takes over when you're asked to speak about who you are. When even at like a job interview, when people ask you like, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, or who you are as a person, or what you believe in, it's almost, I feel like you guys just really shutting down or really kind of tensing up, really kind of closing off your energy. Like it makes you nervous, like it... Interesting. Let's pull another card, group number 3, and see what you're attracting, what you're manifesting. Past life meditations may be something that's very beneficial for you guys, group number 3 as well, if that's something that you've been wanting to explore or look into. We have here inner child. So I do feel, group number 3, that a lot of you guys experienced certain things as a child that you think about a lot, or that caused you to believe in the world or the way that you perceive the world to be different than what you were raised around, than what you grew up around, or what you were told that you should believe in. And it's caused this kind of inner conflict, and it's like your inner child is really wanting to come out and really wanting to be heard, really wanting you to embrace this part of yourself that believes in the impossible, that believes in the imagination, that believes in things that you can't prove or that you can't see. And that creates like the sense of self-doubt, I feel, within you when you try to tap into that. So your inner child is really wanting to be heard, really wanting to be seen, really wanting to be understood. So group number 3, if you guys are trying to manifest, again, like I said, that joy, that pleasure, that desire coming forth here again, allowing yourself to dive into those energies, allowing yourself to follow what makes you laugh, what is fun, what makes you kind of let go of the seriousness of your life, what allows you to tap into like just that innocent joy and play, like that playful energy. Group number 3, there's really a need to tap into that. Like you guys are manifesting healing specifically of the inner child, but you're also manifesting a sense of purpose or mission, I feel, for you guys. And I do feel for a lot of my group number 3s that your purpose has is spiritually driven. Your purpose has something to do with the unknown, with the unseen, with the occult, with the mysteries of life, teaching, speaking, energy healing, and things like that. And it's like your inner child is the key to unlocking that, is the key to being able to attract to that into your life. Interesting. So let's pull some tarot. Group number 3. And you know, there's so many different ways to kind of tap into that inner child, and to begin doing it, group number 3, a good way to begin doing this would be to bring back the, you know, there might be certain movies that you watched as a kid that you immediately think of that bring you back to just that joyful, just fully engrossed in the story type energy, or, you know, even coloring in a coloring book, or reading your favorite children's book, or playing with your kids if you have them. There's so many different ways to begin tapping into that energy if you allow yourself to do so. And that's a big message here, is that like the key to unlock this manifestation that you're desiring is your inner child. We have the liar coming through here, restrictions, telling yourself that that's childish, or that that's immature. You guys may really struggle with kind of like maturity, or like this perception of maturity. You may really struggle by like feeling very restricted, feeling very limited, because it's like you are constantly trying to live this life where you are trying to prove yourself to be the most mature, the most responsible, the most kind of like structured person, when in reality, like your inner child is screaming out for attention right now. So again, it's like that inner conflict that's really causing a sense of stagnancy within your manifestations and within your ability to gain clarity or direction. There's a strong sense of like having a very foggy vision, or like a lack of clarity in regards to the direction that you want to go. And a big part of that is because the direction that you want to go may not seem logical, or it may not seem like the most responsible, or it may not seem like the most mature move to make, and that causes friction for you. We also have the 6 of Challenges coming out here, which talks about movement. It talks about travel. It talks about escaping, even for some of you guys. And then we have the 3 of Boons. Okay, so group number 3, something that I'm picking up on here is like this need to have a place that you can go to get away. Some of you guys may be living in like your parents' house, or in a household that feels very restricting or very suffocating. And this may be causing you to want to escape, or to want to run away. It may be causing you to feel like you are being taken advantage of, or that you know, something like that. And so there is like this need to allow yourself to get away, but there's also, I feel with this 3 of Boons coming out here, like this need to allow yourself to be a part of things as well. I feel like group number 3, a lot of you guys may struggle with allowing yourself to be or feel connected to other people, whether this is the people that you're living with, whether this is people in general, kind of that social anxiety coming through here. You don't allow yourself to connect, because if you don't allow yourself to connect, then it's easier to run away when you begin feeling suffocated or trapped. And Spirit is saying like it's time to tap into that inner child and allow yourself to connect unconditionally to people that are important to you, or to people that are wanting to connect with you in in helpful, productive ways. So this isn't about connecting to people who drag you down or who place limiting kind of restrictions on you or who tell you that you should be ashamed of who you are or what you believe in. But this is about allowing yourself to connect to the people who support you, who lift you up, who want to help you move forward in life in a more fulfilling way. The people who fulfill you, there's a need to connect to that in a kind of sense of like unconditional love instead of there's this sense of detachment for group number 3 where you like always keep everybody and everything at arm's length, so that way when it's time for you to run away or time for you to escape or time for you to leave or time for whatever happens, like there's just this sense of like reaching a certain point and then dropping everything and running away or escaping. And it's like you keep everybody at arm's length and don't allow yourself to connect very strongly with anybody, because it's just easier when you leave to not have to worry about any sort of relationships or connections when you do leave. And Spirit is saying that it's time to connect. It's time to connect to somebody. It's time to trust somebody. It's time to tap into that inner child in order to align to a purpose, to a mission. Interesting. So let's go ahead, group number 3, and pull you one final message. Any last guidance, advice, actions you should be taking in regards to what you're attracting, what you're manifesting. So we have here one enchanted evening, the perfect night. So for a lot of you guys, this could have to do with like having that one night that you indulge in that inner child that really you might be able to look back on in a year and be like, well, this was the turning point in my life. This moment in this time when I was playing on the PlayStation with this friend, and you know, maybe that was when that bond was created, or when I was coloring, or when I was baking with my grandmother, or whatever it is for you. However this comes through, it's like this is going to be a turning point in your life that's going to be very, very significant. You guys are attracting and manifesting a major pivotal point within your reality in order to really bring this in its full potential. There's a need to let go of this idea that you have to be mature and responsible and structured and routine oriented all the time. There's a need to let that go and tap into that inner child. We also have safe and happy travel, protection from harm when journeying, which is telling me here that there is a need for you guys to move, to travel. And this doesn't mean like to move homes or to buy a new home or to flee the town that you're in, but there is a need for movement here, is something that I'm saying. Like a lot of you guys may really be keeping it feels like you're stuck in a rut. And there's a need to find different small ways every day to begin breaking yourself out of this rut in order to come into contact with this turning point in your life. Interesting. So a lot of you guys may be trying to manifest like a new perspective, a new lifestyle. It could be a new home that you're trying to manifest. But overall, I feel for a lot of you guys that it's a sense of direction or a sense of clarity or purpose that you are manifesting and attracting into your reality. And you're being asked not to give into temptation, but to indulge in joy and in pleasure and in the things that bring you a sense of lightheartedness, okay, and innocence. But this is what I'm seeing from my beautiful group number 3. If you enjoyed this reading, if it resonated with you, if it brought you value, please hit that like button, as it truly does help to support the channel. Comment down below. Let me know if you chose pile number 3. Consider subscribing if you feel called to do so. I thank you guys so very much for tuning in here today, and I will see you all next time. Bye.